animated movie ever, with no disrespect, but it is definitely one of their more recent biggest movies ever, and that's why I'm putting it over. That's why I put it over recently in a video blog, and that's why I'm talking about this animated short. Frozen fans have something to be really excited over, and I understand why all the hype is going with this animated movie, of course. The follow-up, of course, being released shortly from Disney Animation Studios leading up to Frozen 2. We don't have a definite date in terms of a release for this one, but it is going to be released sometime, I predict, within the next year and a half to 2 years maximum. We're going to be seeing Frozen 2. Wondering what the subtitle is for this one, and if we're going to get a name put on these Frozen fans. It amazes me how many of them we have out there, and they have even more reason to be excited, and I understand why all the hype is out there for Frozen, why it's being put out there. We have this animated short, the promos, all over our Facebook page and Twitter for you to get in on the conversation with. It is awesome just how many Frozen fans we have out there. And the Grammy Awards taking the stage, Music Big Night tonight. We're going to be seeing Ariana Grande, AC/DC, Ed Sheeran, Madonna sharing the stage. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a bigger cast of names to share the Grammy stage with for Ariana Grande at just 21 years of age. She has done so much. She's up for several Grammys tonight. She's going to be performing on the bill for Music's Biggest Night, and I'm looking forward to the AC/DC performance. I think that's going to be one of the biggest highlights of the night because it's been a while since we've heard anything from AC/DC. You find yourself all the time listening to songs like Back in Black and Highway to Hell. For me, it was the songs in the 80s, maybe the early 90s for AC/DC, not so much of this new stuff, but I am really looking forward to finding out how they enhance and bring their performance to life for the 2015 Grammys. You wouldn't expect AC/DC to be on the bill for the performers list of this year's Grammy Award show. You would have expected that back in probably 93 or 94, not 2015. If you were to tell me maybe 10 years ago, a decade from now, that point we would be seeing AC/DC sharing the stage with Madonna and Ariana Grande, I would say you're fucking crazy. But that's what we're faced with tonight. AC/DC sharing the stage with Ariana, Madonna, Ed Sheeran. I mean, you couldn't ask for a more impressive lineup for Grammy's biggest night, the music industry's biggest night. It's going to be Grammy 2015, and you can check it all out at Grammy.com. Really looking forward to that, of course, following it up from the Super Bowl this past Sunday with the final of 28-24 in favor of the New England Patriots. And to follow that, we have the NBA All-Star Game. And who's going to headline it with a performance? It's going to be Ariana Grande. She has a full schedule. You can check her lineup out at her official website, of course, arianagrande.com. And you can pick up her album, Your Everything, which is in stores now. She's coming up later on in the show, I think at the end of this week's video commentary, which is on the WWE Network. 1 million subscribers for the WWE Network. Very impressed with 1 million subscribers the WWE Network has accumulated since debuting just before WrestleMania 30 in 2014. The network had a lot of skepticism affiliated with it, but it overrid the skepticism, and nobody believed the WWE Network. What was funny about the predictions for the network, nobody thought the network would ever get to 1 million subscribers, in the words of Triple H and Vince McMahon. And when Vince McMahon made the official announcement following Triple H's announcement on SmackDown done live, when they emanated from WWE headquarters with Monday Night Raw, the first Raw after the Royal Rumble in the first or second week of February, this became noticeable to WWE fans. But after the Royal Rumble, they made the announcement. The network had over 1 million subscribers, and they really shoved it in the faces of the critics, which is something I really appreciated because the critics were all over the WWE Network. And when the news first broke, they had over 1 million subscribers. Triple H was the first out on the live edition of SmackDown on the week of the Royal Rumble. In the fall of the Royal Rumble, he announced it, and then Vince McMahon came on halfway through the telecast and said, you know, we proved the naysayers wrong once again. And hey, what's wrong with proving the naysayers wrong with 1 million subscribers? For me, what gets me with the WWE Network is the whole utilization of the app for the American subscribers. If you're subscribed to the network in the U.S., you have to have the WWE app, which is a real backdrop on the fans who have it in the United States, because you should be able to watch it through your television like you can in Canada and the United Kingdom with a television subscription to digital cable or satellite. You should be able to for $11.99 a month. Just up the price a little bit, not significantly, but up it a little bit, and give it as a television subscription. You don't have to use the app necessarily, but this is how the American fans are being forced to use it. It's either that or with a device like a computer you have to watch the WWE Network with. The advantage that I have being in Canada is I can watch it on a digital cable or satellite subscription, and for me, what really excites me about the WWE Network, what gets me all the time is having the opportunity to go back and watch footage, say, I don't know, from the Attitude Era. And if I don't want to do that, I can watch footage of Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man Randy Savage, all the all-time greats. If I want to fast forward a little bit, I can go to the era of Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio. You know, there's so much you can do with the WWE Network. If ever the phrase infinity and beyond, in the words of Buzz Lightyear, ever rang true, I think infinity and beyond is a way of describing the WWE Network, and I think the diversity is definitely one of the things that gets this network over, with new content being added all the time. I also really appreciate how they do the backstage fallouts from events like Raw and SmackDown, and how they have things lined up after shows like Monday Night Raw. They have a follow-up in the way of the Stone Cold podcast, or they have some kind of documentary about something that themes itself with what's going on in WWE, like, for instance, recently the Macho Man Randy Savage's induction into the Hall of Fame, and then they followed that up with a documentary on Macho Man Randy Savage's life. The Monday Night Raw, of course, followed up after they announced it with that documentary, and there's just so much to look forward to on the network. There's old WWE home videos and DVDs you can watch and relive. You can watch every pay-per-view in existence in WWE, from the old In Your Houses right up to events like Unforgiven and No Mercy, and pay-per-views like Payback. It's amazing how much is archived in the annals of WWE Network, and I think that if there was ever anything for a WWE fan, this is a must-have. This really is a must-have for any WWE fan. So if you aren't subscribed to the WWE Network, what's wrong with you? Definitely subscribe to the network and take advantage of what the network is offering for just $11.99 a month for people like in the United Kingdom and Canada, and for $9.99 a month, the price is a little bit lower in the United States. You have to utilize the app. That's the only downfall of this. You can subscribe to it. You know, I really hate it that the American fans can't watch it for a digital cable or satellite subscription. You have to use the app, or you have to use a device like a laptop or an actual computer to make an account and log in with. Of course, it's just like watching a WWE webcast back in the day, saying about 2007, 2008. That's what it feels like for me, for the American fans, and that's why I really feel for you, because in Canada you can watch it on digital cable and satellite. And that's one of the biggest reasons, I think, why the WWE Network has over 1 million subscribers, with the availability becoming more diverse with the network as time went on. There was a lot of novelty in 2014 when the network premiered. With the availability expanding for the network, what happened was we had more subscribers. So what happened is United Kingdom fans got it eventually, Canadian fans got it eventually, and they got it on digital cable and satellite subscriptions, and that significantly boosted the WWE Network fan base, and the network really wasn't getting over in the States. I think that really was where the issue was. The network had a lot of subscribers in the States, but they were being outnumbered by the subscribers in Canada and the United Kingdom, and that's why the network eventually got to 1 million subscribers. And the interesting thing about the network is, since its expansion with availability, what's happening is the numbers for the network are always rising, and you get incredible shows along with the documentaries and every pay-per-view every month. You get shows like the Monday Night War, which documents the war between WWE and WCW and critical points throughout the war. That's one thing I really like. You get the countdown, countdowning some of WWE's biggest moments. You get WWE podcasts like Stone Cold Steve Austin with guests like COO Triple H. I know that Sheamus was on there, Bray Wyatt, Vince McMahon. You get so much exclusive content. This new groundbreaking series, WWE 24, is one of my favorites. Legends House is another one that comes to mind, seeing how legends coexist under one roof. It's really funny when you get people like Coco Beware and Roddy Piper and Stone Cold Steve Austin all having to share the same house and live in the same environment. It really goes to show, you know, what wrestlers have to put up with from time to time. But one that really gets me is WWE 24 because of the backstage content that you see. The network definitely has no limits. That's one thing. A lot of uncensorship goes on the network too. So you don't get edits in there with the network, and there's a lot of live streaming going on as opposed to seeing something taped like NXT or WWE Main Event, which airs on television. The good thing about the network is, too, what's getting the network over and what's really rising the subscribers all the time is the fact that shows like NXT and Main Event are being done live. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate this. Like I said, Infinity and Beyond for the WWE Network, definitely. The phrase from Buzz Lightyear in the old Disney series Toy Story definitely affiliates itself significantly well and very appropriately with the WWE Network, because the possibilities are endless with the WWE Network. There's no limitation, and we have live shows, more live shows than we ever did before. And because the shows are live that weren't originally, for instance, NXT, the NXT ratings are up, the Main Event ratings are up, and that opens up the door for more weekly programming to eventually debut on the WWE Network and with the WWE Weekly lineup, as opposed to just getting, say, Raw and SmackDown on a weekly basis and something like NXT, which is pre-taped. Now what you get is more live shows on a weekly basis, and you don't get the edits thrown in there. You get uncensorship, and you get unlimited access to the WWE Universe, and there's more ways to be more interactive than ever before. So you can chat with fans, you can give your opinion on what's happening on the network, you can get in on the conversation with hashtags, you can coincide with the conversation happening on Facebook and Twitter. The interactivity is far beyond what WWE.com used to offer. Remember one time you used to be able to go on WWE.com and go in their chat room and chat with maybe 100 users about what was happening on Raw and SmackDown? And then they came out with Raw Unlimited, and they tried to offer you backstage content and unlimited content with Raw Unlimited, but it was taking away from the viewership of Raw because people were diverting to cyberspace. That idea was quickly killed off. I remember the days of going on WWE.com chat and talking with hundreds of users about what was happening on a live edition of Monday Night Raw. Now, you don't have to do that because the app eliminates Raw access, and you get to use the app with your mobile device to see what was happening backstage. You don't miss out on any of the action, and that's why the app has over 15 million downloads. What's really interesting about the WWE download numbers, for instance, we have the WWE app at 15 million downloads. We have 1 million subscribers for the WWE Network, and we have the WWE Immortals iPad game being the most downloaded iPad game for any mobile device in its opening week. The numbers for WWE are very impressive. Just the 1 million subscribers for the WWE Network alone is something to congratulate WWE for because of the criticism the network received, and